The batteries in all your electronic gadgets are created in the most inhumane conditions imaginable. In this video, I'm going to show you the upsetting truth big business is hiding and what you can do to help. But first, let's take it back to the beginning. King Leopold of Belgium was desperate for a colony. He begged so dramatically, the great powers gave him a territory in Africa called the Congo just to shut him up. Meanwhile, in Europe, people were going crazy over ivory. They were turning it into artwork, combs, jewelry, you name it. King Leopold set his new involuntary workforce to harvesting this white gold. But then something else came along that would turn the grim reality of that colony into a true nightmare. Cheap and affordable cars. Everyone had to have one. However, these fancy new cars needed mountains of rubber for tires and tubing. Where was the West going to get all the rubber it was hungry for? Well, it turns out the Congo doesn't just have a lot of elephants, it has tons of rubber too. Whole villages were rounded up. If the men didn't bring back enough rubber, then their family members would lose hands or feet. In many cases, they were simply killed. When news of these horrors finally reached home, the old king was forced to sell the Congo to the Belgian government. Bad things still happened. It was a European colony after all, but nothing so bad as what happened at the height of King Leopold's madness. In 1960, the Democratic Republic of Congo finally became an independent country. And from that point on, the responsible citizens of the West started to work hand in hand with the Congolese rather than exploiting them. Or did they? You might be wondering what all this has to do with batteries. Well, thanks to companies like Apple and Samsung, almost every single person in the world has a phone, tablet, or laptop. These things are flying out the door. The only problem was back in the day, customers kept grumbling about how crappy the batteries were. The inconvenience was actually making sales go down, and they couldn't have that. So what could they do to make batteries more stable and hold a longer charge? Cobalt! Add a little of this stuff and the customers are happy and profits go up again. And wouldn't you know it, the Congo didn't just have ivory and rubber, it also happens to have more cobalt than the entire rest of the world combined. When demand shot up, this happened. These mines are supposed to be industrial. Instead, they are filled with hundreds of thousands of workers on their hands and knees using picks. Men, women, children, all working in subhuman conditions. No machines to help, no safety equipment, no dignity. Broken arms and legs, shattered spines, tunnels with no supports collapsing and burying people alive. Worst of all are the endless birth defects and cancers caused by breathing in raw cobalt. These are the most appalling, heart-wrenching, dangerous working conditions in the world right now. Never before has so much suffering generated more profit and been linked to more people than right now. And all this to fuel our need for the newest smartphone? The workers are no longer forced like they were in King Leopold's time. Now they are generously paid around $1 or $2 a day to support themselves. What an improvement. This salary is so meager that women can barely afford to eat, let alone pay for childminding. That means kids are strapped to their mothers' backs or working right alongside them. That means they have to breathe in the toxic fumes along with the adults. What kind of economy can transform sheer human misery into shiny gadgets? When news from the Congo leaks, the big corporations start playing the blame game. They blame the refineries, they blame the Chinese mining companies, they put on a mask of innocence, and sadly, people actually believe them. But that's not even the full story. Who doesn't want a car that's good for the environment? Who doesn't want to make the world a better place? Tesla, Nissan, Volvo, and Toyota are all pumping out electric vehicles in order to meet this new demand. While consumer electronics use a lot of cobalt, it's nothing compared to electric vehicles. EVs require 10 times or more cobalt for their batteries than phones, laptops, or tablets. Unfortunately, this new green revolution is being built on the suffering of hundreds of thousands of people. Good for the environment and corporate profits, bad for the Congolese.
Long-term health problems.
So what can we do for the people of the Congo? Going back to the Stone Age won't work. We need electronics and EVs. But what you can do is stop yourself from giving into the never-ending cycle of consumption. Life hasn't been improved by the new smartphone or the new computer. It's all just marketing. Buy only what you need and nothing more. However, reducing consumption is only half the battle. Ending the industry would end our civilization, so we have to do what we can to improve the lives of the people we so depend on. We created a petition for you to sign. We are challenging the largest corporations to stop playing the blame game and start taking responsibility for their supply chain. We are demanding better wages, heavy machinery, and personal protective equipment in the Congo. They have no voice to ask for these things themselves, so you have to speak for them. By signing this petition, we'll show the world we don't buy into the "they don't matter" attitude. If enough of us demand a change, then big business will be forced to act. We can start investing in these communities instead of exploiting them. We can stop exchanging Congolese blood for cobalt. For those of you who have always wanted to make the world a better place, here is your chance. The people at the top change. One day it's a king, one day it's a mining company. But as a consumer, you hold the real power. Your choices can change the world. Thanks for watching.